Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're doing good and ready for a little throwback because we're talking about Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon and a surprise update that honestly feels way bigger than anyone expected. If you've ever booted this game up before, you already know it's not just another Far Cry entry. It's loud, it's ridiculous, it's drenched in neon, and it leans so hard into that retro sci-fi action movie vibe that it practically glows. And now, years later, it's been given a fresh performance boost that genuinely changes how it feels to play. So let's talk about the update, specifically Update 1.01, because this is the one that finally brings 60 FPS support to the game on modern consoles. And yeah, that might sound like a small technical tweak on the surface, but if you've actually spent time in Blood Dragon, you know how much smoother gameplay transforms the entire experience. The fast movement, the gunplay, the over-the-top animations, all of it benefits massively from that higher frame rate. It feels more responsive, more fluid, and honestly more in line with how the game always wanted to be played. Before this patch, Blood Dragon was locked to 30 FPS on consoles, which wasn't terrible, but it definitely showed its age. With the update installed on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS, the game now runs at a much smoother 60 frames per second, and the difference is immediate. Camera movement feels cleaner, aiming feels more precise, and even just running through outposts or riding vehicles feels faster and more natural. It's one of those updates where you don't need a comparison video to notice it, you feel it within seconds. What's also important is that this update doesn't mess with the core identity of the game. The visuals are still true to that VHS-inspired cyberpunk parody style. The neon blues and hot pinks are intact, the CRT-style filters still pop, and the cheesy action movie presentation remains untouched. This isn't a remaster trying to reinvent the look. It's more like polishing the experience so it runs the way modern players expect without losing its personality. Alongside the performance boost, the patch also includes general stability improvements. Nothing flashy or dramatic here, but things like fewer frame pacing issues, smoother transitions during combat-heavy moments, and improved consistency during longer play sessions. Some players had previously reported occasional stutters or brief freezes, especially when explosions filled the screen or multiple enemies spawned at once. Those moments are now far less noticeable, making the chaos feel controlled instead of messy. Load times also feel slightly improved, especially on newer hardware. While the game was never painfully slow to begin with, the update tightens things up just enough to keep you moving. Less waiting, more action, which fits Blood Dragon perfectly. You're not here for realism or slow pacing. You're here to blast cyborg enemies, listen to absurd dialogue, and soak in that exaggerated sci-fi atmosphere. Another subtle improvement comes in the form of better input responsiveness. Movement, aiming, and firing all feel a bit more immediate now, which pairs perfectly with the higher frame rate. It makes stealth sections smoother and firefights more satisfying, especially when things get intense. You feel more in control, and that's always a win in a game that relies heavily on fast reactions and aggressive combat.